Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, Telus trouble, how businesses and customers are coping with an outage west of Edmonton. Morning announcement, striking teachers looking for support during the AM rush hour. And sketchy suspects, the process behind creating illustrations for police investigations.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Some people living just west of Edmonton are entering the long weekend with prescriptions unfilled and cell phones unable to make calls. Several businesses in the Mayor-Thorpe area have cash-only signs on their doors or are closed entirely. A Telus outage means internet, cell phones, and landlines have been down along parts of Highway 43 since yesterday afternoon. One pharmacy owner says she's been forced to turn customers away.
I can't fill their prescription. People would like to get their medication. You can't let them go without it, and I can't charge. So it's very bad for business because I cannot, like a lot of people don't have a habit of having cash on them, especially for prescription when it is above $100.
Telus says the outage was caused by a third-party excavator that damaged cables in Whitecourt along Highway 43. The company has activated emergency roaming so people can still call 911. It's hoping to restore service as soon as possible. Police believe a man facing charges following a sexual assault at the Jasper Place Transit Center may have assaulted other people. Police say last month a man approached a woman at the transit center just before 8 o'clock in the morning. He asked to shake her hand and give her a hug. When she refused, the man continued to try and touch her until a second woman intervened. Police say the man then tried to kiss a teenage girl. The second woman intervened once again. 40-year-old Fabian Sandy Point has been charged with assault, sexual assault, and obstruction. Police believe he may have tried to hug or touch several other people in the same area around the same time. The Alberta government is adding an additional support payment for children with complex care needs. This applies to people who receive family support for children with disabilities through the province. Kids 12 and under can get an extra $30 per instructional day. Kids 13 and over get an extra $60. The Alberta Teachers Association and the province will return to the bargaining table Tuesday. Until a deal is reached, teachers are rallying. As CTV's Nara Manisa reports, teachers are looking to drivers for support.
At dawn, hundreds of teachers, advocates, and students converged on the Walterdale Bridge, targeting their message at morning commuters. Bridget Kennedy is a second-year English teacher. She says since day one, she's had to deal with overcrowding in classrooms and not enough resources.
So I have a class of 32. That's my biggest class right now. And just with some of them, it's obviously no fault of their own, but they do need these extra supports.
She says as a result, some students are falling through the cracks.
Just due to how many children there are and all these different complexities that they have, they aren't able to get the direct care that they need just due to so many of them require it.
This event was organized by advocacy group Public Interest Alberta. They plan on holding rallies for the duration of the strike.
We're really concerned about this government's approach to teachers in public education for the past few years, but it's really come to a head. So we just thought visibility, wave some flags, get some honks, show people that we're out here.
A loud message, they say, to get the province to put public money back into public education.
It's hard for the teachers, it's hard for the families, it's hard for the communities to watch public schools be harmed in this way, and it's time to really get back to the table and start working on the things that matter for our communities.
I miss my students very dearly. I went to West Ed yesterday and actually saw a couple of them, and I had to turn around because I was going to start crying because I miss them so much.
The Alberta Teachers Association, the province, and a mediator are meeting Tuesday to try to hash out a deal. Nara Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
A nationwide walkout by Canada Post workers will soon be replaced by rotating strikes. The union representing striking postal workers says rotating strikes will start tomorrow. Canada Post says its services will begin to resume next week. Local branches will be told when it's their turn to rotate out of service. 55,000 postal workers have been on strike for 2 weeks when Ottawa said it would make changes to mail services. The local union president says rotating strikes will ease the financial burden on workers.
The corporation likes to tell everybody that they lose $10 million a day. Well, that's probably not that far off for postal workers, right? So the difference is it's an individual company or the 55,000 members of the union who are taking those losses.
Canada Post says it's waiting to hear back from the union on its latest offer from last Friday. The latest job numbers show Alberta is leading the country with 43,000 new jobs created in September. That's nearly a 2% jump from the previous month. Economists say it's also the highest jump in employment outside the pandemic period. The increases mainly came from manufacturing and agriculture sectors. The gains also offset major job losses in July and August. Alberta's jobs minister says he's encouraged by the latest numbers.
But what I'm really looking at is what's happening going forward and what we could attribute these numbers to. And that's a lot of the new investment we're seeing in the province, the construction jobs it's creating, and also the environment we've created as a province for future investment going forward. So year over year, these numbers are also very positive, over 70,000 new jobs, and the best is still yet to come.
Alberta's unemployment rate sits at 7.8%. That's above the national average of 7.1%. Tomorrow is the final day of advanced voting for Edmonton's municipal election. Advanced polls have been open since Tuesday. Over the first 3 days, more than 21,000 people cast their vote, compared to nearly 19,000 during the same time frame in 2021. Polls are open from noon until 8 p.m. You can find your assigned polling station on the city's website. Election day is October 20th. An Alberta nonprofit wants to make sure the entire family is fed this Thanksgiving, including your pets. Parachutes for Pets is preparing Thanksgiving hampers for cats and dogs. They'll be available at Boyle Street Community Services' annual Thanksgiving meal this Sunday. Hampers include everything from food supplies and water to walking gear and toys. While the charity has been helping with a similar event in Calgary for years, this is the first one in Edmonton.
But it is not necessarily a lot of options for their pets, and we don't want to see any pets going with an empty stomach this time of year. It's our primary mission is to keep owners with their pets, especially if somebody is dealing with a stressful situation. The last thing they should have to deal with is having to give up their pet.
Parachutes for Pets offers pet food bank services all year round. Pet supply donations are also welcome at their Southeast Edmonton location. And some special visitors brought work to a halt at the teachers' strike headquarters in Edmonton today. The organization, Dogs with Wings, breeds, trains, and places service dogs with people who need their support. Today, the team brought a couple of dogs by to greet Edmonton public and Catholic school teachers.
Yeah, I think it is a very stressful time for everybody, a lot of unknowns, and just having something to brighten your day helps alleviate that stress a little bit.
Dogs with Wings has been around since 1996. Beautiful day to take your dog for a walk out there today. A nice warm day in our region and still plenty of heat out there at this hour. Lots of sunshine as well. That may not last long throughout the long weekend, though. Kaylin Mitchell filling in for Josh Clausen with your forecast tonight.
Thank you, Matt. Well, it wasn't exactly sweater weather in the province today, was it? A nice treat heading towards mid-October for Edmonton. High temperature today coming up to near 23 degrees. And the average this time of the year is only around 12. Was still a bit shy of the record, though, set back in 1942 of 27.8 degrees. Morning low temperature today was right around the freezing mark. The record low, minus 12.8, set back in 1919. Last year's temperatures, almost dead on seasonable. 12.5 degrees for the high temperature, and the low temperature right around, or actually just below, the freezing mark. Now, oftentimes this time of the year, what comes up must come down, and that's going to be the story for temperatures as we move through this weekend. On the other side of this high pressure system that was in place for today, there is a cold front that's going to be moving north to south across Alberta as we move through the upcoming weekend. Going to be bringing a scattering of some showers and some flurries and a cool off in temperatures. So let's take a look at the next 24 hours. So beginning with tonight, we can expect fairly clear conditions all the way up until around midnight. At midnight, temperature down to around 10 degrees. And then the forecast for tomorrow, in the morning hours, around 8 degrees. And then from there, temperatures sort of stall out around 8 and then fall a couple degrees through the afternoon as a gusty northwest wind develops. And we see a few showers in the morning hours. I'll have more in the forecast coming up a little bit later on. Matt.
Thanks very much. Coming up next on CTV News, flying into town, why bat researchers and experts are in Edmonton this weekend.
The bats are effectively nature's insecticide or pesticides.
Tuesday on Your Morning Edmonton. A closer look at the candidates competing for the mayor's chair and dispelling mental health myths during Obsessive Compulsive Disorder Awareness Week.
Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Police sketch artists aren't normally in the spotlight, but their drawings can generate tips and leads when investigators have exhausted other avenues. At the Edmonton Police Service, officers are behind the artwork. Only a handful have the training and talent to translate a person's description into an image using only their memory as a guide. CTV's Jeremy Thompson visited Police HQ to try his hand at describing a suspect.
Just flip through the pages and see if there's anything that you like that's similar.
Okay. Detective Megan Bloomhagen walks me through the process of describing a subject for her to sketch.
A hair wig.
So hair is kind of short, blonde, kind of spiky in the front.
I'm attempting to describe CTV meteorologist Josh Clausen.
Maybe slightly thicker eyebrows, maybe?
It's proving more difficult than I first thought.
When you're describing the person, you're being really honest with what they look like, including age, ethnicity, skin color, and if you don't know something, we're not making it up.
Working from memory is tough. Flipping through reference books full of faces allows me to find features I think are similar to Josh's.
This one, like the lids, fall down a little bit over top of the iris.
It's a collaboration and a work in progress. As the detective draws, she asks for feedback.
Once people start seeing stuff on paper, their memories come back and they're able to make corrections.
Detective Bloomhagen and Sergeant Amanda Ross are part of a small team of forensic sketch artists at EPS. They do a handful of sketches each a year, in addition to their regular police work.
I had a composite sketch artist come and do a sketch for one of my files, and then just seeing how that had so much potential to generate information on an investigation was it started to pique my interest.
The job requires special training, both for drawing and the professional people skills to guide witnesses through the process, usually navigating through trauma.
Having the interview background for me helped. I was already comfortable talking to complainants and witnesses and being able to draw things out of their memory.
At a time when artificial intelligence can generate digital images almost instantly, police believe sketching will stick around. They say when working with memory, imperfection is an asset.
It may not look as polished because we don't want to make it look so specific that a person's going to think it has to look exactly like that.
Releasing a sketch of a suspect is usually only done once most other investigative techniques have come up short. They're used for all kinds of crimes, often when investigators suspect a repeat offender is the culprit.
We really want to be able to help advance files, bring closure to witnesses and victims, and it's a good feeling when you can contribute.
After about 45 minutes, Detective Bloomhagen reveals her likeness of Josh. In a real investigation, she would spend 3 or 4 times longer refining the sketch with the witness. So how much does it look like Josh?
Hair's not bad. I don't love the crow's feet, but I do have crow's feet.
The artists do say prominent features are the most important details.
You'll notice I have a little bit of a skunk eye on the left side, and she kind of nailed the skunk eye.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
No wonder Josh took the day off. Bat researchers and experts are flying into Edmonton this weekend. The North American Society for Bat Research Science is holding a conference here. Researchers can share the latest information and learn about how bats interact with humans and the environment. Bats might not be appealing to a lot of people, but they certainly serve a very important purpose in the ecosystem. One way is by helping farmers.
The bats are effectively nature's insecticide or pesticide. So what they're doing is they're flying around all night. They echolocate, and that echolocation allows them to find insects, things like moths, and of course moths are adult caterpillars, and they're eating insects.
There are 6 bat species in Edmonton, and they all help control the bug population. Still to come tonight on CTV News, a room with a view, how some baseball fans are avoiding higher playoff prices.
What do you think they should do?
They should keep it open all the time.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Look at the North Saskatchewan River this evening. What might be the last warm day for a little while anyway. Kellen Mitchell has your long-range forecast.
Thank you, Matt. So once again, looking at some fairly clear conditions through the first part of tonight, increasing cloudiness during the overnight hours. By around midnight, a lot of temperatures in northern Alberta will be around the mid to high single digits, and some in the southern parts of the province around high single digits and low teens. Let's take a look at our timeline for tomorrow, and that's where we see some changes as a cold front moves north to south across the province. This is going to be bringing in some scattered showers with a chance of showers beginning in the morning for Edmonton, but then really decreasing by the afternoon. Now, in behind that front, temperatures are going to be falling in a gusty northwest wind, and that could bring us some scattered flurries across northern areas of Alberta. There will be some snow up in the mountain ranges, and then as we move through Saturday night, temperatures get a little bit colder. Maybe a little bit of that snow gets down to the southern foothills area. Even Calgary might see a little bit of wet snow as we move through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Also for Edmonton, very early Sunday morning, I would say a very low chance, 10 to 20% chance of a few light flurries drifting through, but no accumulation expected out of that. Let's take a closer look at Edmonton's weather here over the next 24 hours. So temperature coming down to around 8 degrees to start tomorrow. That's actually the high temperature for the day, as in that gusty northwest wind, the temperature will cool down to around 6 degrees a little bit later in the afternoon. Then by 8 p.m. down to around 4. Let's take a look at morning low temperatures across the province. They'll be mostly around the mid to high single digits. And high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow, while areas that get onto the cooler side of that front, your highs actually occur in the morning, with temperatures then falling a few degrees through the afternoon. Locations that remain a little bit on the warmer side of that front a little bit later into the day tomorrow, eastern areas of Alberta, including Cold Lake with a high near 14 degrees. We're looking at 18 at around Coronation, 22 at Medicine Hat, holding on to some low 20s there. It's a little bit cooler back towards Calgary, 16 degrees and 14 at Red Deer. Here we are with the 5-day forecast for Edmonton, and you can see that showers, gusty conditions in the forecast for tomorrow. After that, on Sunday, it is going to be chilly and it's going to be breezy. Wind still out of the northwest, and a colder night Sunday night into Monday morning. Monday morning's temperature is closer to -6. The daytime high temperature near 3 degrees. Up to 8 on Tuesday with sunshine, and 10 and mostly sunny on Wednesday. So we do start to see some temperature recovery as we move towards the middle part of next week. In fact, by Thursday of next week, might have some high temperatures approaching the mid-teens once again. After that, it does look like it cools through the end of next week with a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. And then for the next weekend, the following weekend, temperatures pretty cool. Matt.
All right, Kalen, thank you. Oilers fans are no strangers to high ticket prices when their team makes the playoffs. Now Toronto Blue Jays fans are feeling some of that pain, unless they happen to have a room with a view. CTV's John Woodward explains.
It's a room with a view. This is what Abhishek Mahajan sees from his 32nd-story apartment overlooking the Rogers Centre, which comes in very handy on game nights, like the recent series where the Blue Jays vanquished the New York Yankees, propelling them to the American League Championship Series.
It's pretty fun.
It's up to Major League Baseball weather to keep that roof open, and last time the Jays made it this far, the roof was closed.
What do you think they should do?
They should keep it open all the time.
Others broadcast their great view on social media, a view also enjoyed by one dogged fan. The people with these addresses never have to worry about the ticket prices, which are now rising on resale websites. 500 section, around $500, and as high as $2,700 closer to the field, frustrating some ticket holders.
That's ridiculous right now. It's kind of going out of hand.
Ken Oka shelled out for tickets to the upcoming series.
Game 1, I think I paid like $500, $600-ish.
Worth it for him. He lives a little lower down and can't quite see the field. And there's a downside to watching the broadcast too close to the stadium.
It is a bit of an issue watching from here, though, because you get spoiled by the home run horn. So when someone's at bat and you're like, hoping that they hit something, you can kind of tell based on hearing people cheer or hearing the horn just before the play on TV.
Maybe that's one reason to get a ticket in the end. After all, it's a very short walk. John Woodward, CTV News, Toronto.
When we return, prehistoric pieces, millions of Lego bricks used to create a dynamite exhibit.
Just to build the models took was 10,000 hours.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by the music of Star Wars with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, Mayerthorpe's mayor explains how she became a victim of a crime that may never be solved thanks to a large internet outage in the area. Also tonight, the Hope Mission in Edmonton is working to make this a good Thanksgiving for people in need. And a local Olympic cyclist changes gears, hoping to earn a spot on Canada's Olympic bobsled team. Those stories and more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. There's some new prehistoric pieces at the Telus World of Science. Millions of Lego bricks make up a number of species that existed millions of years ago. CTV's Merrick DeCash has more.
Finn Fernie was one of the first people inside the new Jurassic World exhibit at the Telus World of Science.
I only know that stegosauruses use those spikes on their backs to defend the T-Rex.
Dozens of children got an early look at the new gallery a day before it opens to the public.
I call one of them a Bumpy Lumpy because it has tons of bumps on it.
Jurassic World was built with 6 million pieces of Lego. A team of Lego artists from Australia is responsible for putting it together.
Just to build the models took was 10,000 hours of build time with 6 million Lego bricks over a period of about 6 to 9 months with a team of 30 people.
This exhibit is meant to be interactive. It includes 6 different areas where people can get creative.
Every single area within the exhibit also has a build area. So you're not just looking at these sculptures, you're getting to build right alongside those Lego masters as well.
Brickman has 8 different shows across the world. Edmonton is the only Canadian city where Jurassic World will come to life.
I mean, everyone loves dinosaurs, everyone loves Lego. You put the two of them together, it's you don't find many people you can't please.
It's a space where guests are going to be inspired to build and innovate and really see where their imaginations can take them.
The Jurassic World exhibit will be showcased at the Telus World of Science until April 6th. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. Have a great Thanksgiving long weekend. CTV News continues right now.